those same people are crying that they haven't made any money. But I need you to hear me when I say you need to be a leader. And leaders do not have the emotional capacity of a walnut. They're able to see the bigger picture and know that everything they're doing has a compound effect.
You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in.
Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, your coach, Jill, and we have a little Ruby here, your coach Ruby here sitting on my lap. If you don't know who Ruby is, she is my 4-month-old Chihuahua. When you're listening to this, she's about 5 months old now, and she's the sweetest little bean. You can head to my Instagram at your coach Jill because I always have her on my stories, her and Hugo. You guys know Hugo. So, okay. Welcome back to the pod. Welcome back. We have officially kicked off in the ring my 45-day sales sprint that I was telling you guys about last week, where you get a daily voice activation from me to help you energetically and confidently sell your offer, as well as content and sales prompts so you know what to say and how to say it when you sell. We are already having so much fun. It's only day 3 and you can still join. You can jump in and catch up on the first couple of days. You'll get immediate access to all of the content that's already been done for the last couple days, as well as my 2 offers, Hot Girl Offers and 6-Figure Stories, the course, which is $333, and you get access to that and the whole challenge for 9 weeks. Okay, so you can join us for only $333 or 2 monthly payments of $167. It's a fucking steal. The link is in my show notes. Now let's jump into the second part of the mini series on how to sell out your offers in 2025. And I truly can't believe still that we're in 2025. We were watching the show Shameless over the holidays. I started rewatching it. Absolutely love that show. And Fiona, the main character, was talking about how she wasn't going to have time to relax at a hotel. And her BF at the time, Steve, was like, come on, you have to come just for the night. And she was like, maybe when I have time in 2023. And at the time, the show was being recorded, right? Like it was like 2008 or something. And I just thought that that was so funny because the show was essentially saying this is so far in advance and now we're literally in 2025, which is absolutely nutty. So anyways, if you haven't watched Shameless before, you need to. And now we're going to head into part 2 of how to sell out your offers. So in part 1, we talked about how to be consistent in your messaging and how to be super, super clear with your messaging because it's a very important part of selling your offers. And a big piece of selling them is selling them more than once and being the leader that does. Because there's the cycle that people go through when they have an offer, okay? They get really excited about it. They start thinking about the details, but they actually haven't started doing the work yet in terms of selling that offer. And actually, now that I think about it too, this is very common if you have ADHD, and a lot of entrepreneurs have ADHD, and we get the dopamine from the planning piece of things a lot of the time. So if you're thinking of a new offer and you're really excited about it, but then the actual execution has fallen flat before and you have a hard time following through, this could maybe be it. Right? And again, there's this cycle that a lot of people go through, even if they don't have ADHD. They're excited, they're thinking about everything, but when it comes to the actual execution, they fucking fall flat, they get bored, they stop doing it. It's very easy to stay in the euphoria of, I just created this offer, it's gonna make me so much money, I'm so excited about it, because you don't know what's coming and there's excitement in the unknown. But when you actually start selling that offer, if you have the gall to start selling that offer, a lot of the time, like 99% of the time, if you don't have a super established brand yet, you're gonna hear crickets, right? Or maybe you'll sell one here or there right off the bat, but a lot of the time it is going to take a second for people to see the offer and decide that they want to join it. And people take this very, very personally. But if you think about yourself as a leader, you have to put yourself in a place of being completely and totally resilient, not give a fuck about whatever is happening externally, because you believe so hard in the thing that you're creating and the thing that you're building. And nobody is going to be able to enjoy or benefit from your offer if you're not leading from the front and constantly selling it until it fucking sells, right? You have to give your offer the room and time it needs to get people to buy into it. The truth is, a lot of people are just emotionally immature. They don't have the stability or the resilience to stick with something that isn't producing immediate results. I also blame things like TikTok and Instagram, where we constantly get that dopamine hit of, oh, this is working, something new, blah, 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 blah. But you can't have that fucking mindset when you have a business. And again, people just can't handle this emotionally. They get wrapped up in, I can't pay for this, or I'm just not making enough for this, or, well, it's because of my business. If my business was performing, if my business was doing better, then I would be able to do all these things, blah, 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 blah. And then people put so much pressure on themselves in their businesses, and it stops being fun. It stops being fun to sell, right? And then they get hit with the reality of, this isn't selling how I thought it would. People don't actually care. They're not interested. And this is where they fuck up and they stop selling. And those same people are crying that they haven't made any money. But I need you to hear me when I say you need to be a leader. And leaders do not have the emotional capacity of a walnut. They're able to see the bigger picture and know that everything they're doing has a compound effect. When you sell an offer for the very first time, it's just the beginning. Instead of thinking like, okay, the offer is done, it's ready to go, let's go, people. It's just the beginning when you actually start selling your offer. I get so excited when I start selling an offer, not because I think I'm going to drop this and so many people are going to jump in and it's going to be amazing and I'll never have to sell it again, right? I get excited because I think of so many different ways to sell this offer, and I know I can't fit it all into just one day, and that is okay. Like, that's how I want you to think about your offers too. Sure, you're excited to drop it and get people into it, but are you excited to sell it? Are you excited to sell this offer, to talk about it, to bring people in with your words and your energy? Actually having the offer, sustaining the offer, having clients in it, running it, that's one thing. But you have to sell it for all of that to become a reality. And it's like what I say to my clients all the time, this part of the job can be difficult in terms of the marketing, the selling, the creating content, but it allows me to do the thing that I actually love, which is coaching my clients, being with my clients, creating resources, etc. I don't usually love the marketing and sales aspect of things, but you learn to get excited about it. You learn to understand that when you sell your offer with power, passion, and confidence, you get to spread your purpose so much more. You can offer your service to so many different people, and you deepen your impact by getting good at marketing and sales. It's a fucking skill of leadership to sell your offer every day. Sell your offer confidently, even when you're not getting the validation, even when you have 0 people inside that offer. How do you act when that is the case? That will tell you everything about how successful you're going to be. How you get to hundreds of people in your offers, to high ticket clients, to 6-figure and multiple 6-figure years is by leading from the front, by being somebody that takes action and moves without anybody needing to fucking validate her. Right? As humans, we naturally seek validation, and I think that's fine in certain areas of your business. For example, I had a client in the Real Deal Mastermind who said she was just looking at cards from people saying how much she had helped them. She was watching old testimonials and realizing how good she was and how important her work was. And like, that's good validation. That's the kind of validation that we need to see as we grow our businesses. But it's cruel because at the beginning, a lot of the time, you're getting 0 validation. And if you don't have any clients yet, or you don't have a lot of them, It's just you giving yourself that validation, just you showing up and selling, knowing that it's compounding every single day. But you have to believe in that compound effect. You have to believe that you're building an audience that is growing to respect you, to love you, to feel safe with you, and ultimately to pay you. And that has to come from leader energy. If you really think about it, being paid thousands of dollars to change somebody's life is a big fucking deal. Of course, you're worthy of receiving. You are worthy of receiving high ticket payments for the services you provide. But don't forget the fact that somebody is paying you a pretty penny, or going to, and to fucking change their life and do this work with you. No matter if it's a couple $100s, a couple $1,000s, or tens of thousands, I never take the work I do with my clients lightly. I always think about, if my clients could see me right now, if they could see me reacting in this way, responding to this situation, would I be proud of myself? Would I be able to hold my head high? Would I feel worthy of receiving for the work that I'm doing? And this isn't an opportunity to shame yourself if you feel like, oh, I haven't been living up to my potential, or I've been really inconsistent in my selling. That starts today. You get to decide and start over if that's your reality, because you're going to lead from the front in 2025. You're going to be a leader that sells her offer every day with a high vibe frequency, with power, with confidence, no matter what lack of validation you're receiving. Because people are watching, they're listening, they're following your lead. They are seeing the way that you show up for yourself and your business. And people want to be led by someone who is strong in their convictions, who is certain, and who seemingly feels very confident about the fact that they can help someone. So go be a motherfucking leader today and come join us in the ring, which has already started, and be the woman in front of the screen and behind the screen that people can't wait to pay. I love you, and I'll see you next week for part 3. Hey babe, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Screenshot it and put it on your stories and tag me at Your Coach Jill. And if you really love me, you'll rate and review the podcast. And if you screenshot it before you submit the review and send it to me, I will send you a free gift on me. If you want to take this work deeper, come and work with me in the From Imposter to Empowered program or the Real Deal Mastermind. And finally, if you want just a snippet of my work to feel what it's like to be in my world, then you need to buy my best-selling book, You're Not Special, and you can get that on Amazon. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next week.